There we go.
Come on in.
How you doing there, Grayson?
What it do, Bertle do?
All right. So
any clarification on something?
Yeah, kind of a mix.
Yeah.
Angel, I'll let you take the helm here.
Sure. Well, I'll start. So I was kind of going through the. Let me put up on my phone actually, just so I can like reference stuff specific. This is in relation.
Oh no, there's tornado warnings in my area.
Legislative amendment that you posted yesterday regarding the.
By the way, do not take what Speedy said to Brian as Brian accepting he's going to allow torture to happen. But Brian is obviously not going to do anything actually corrupt.
I want to start off.
Brian nodding his head that he's going to do these things doesn't mean he's going to let it happen, right?
Cases that are sitting there for too long is a bad thing, because there's definitely some cases that
we're not going to be like, oh, someone's torturing, better not check.
I have some concerns with the way that it's currently written.
There's a different understanding.
Some potential abuse of the system,
No,
or
because
limit
Brian
people's
isn't
ability
actually
to seek out a trial.
Hearing something out
the way
versus,
that it's, as it's currently written. There's really not much of a process there outside of allowing people to provide a brief statement on the docket, and then it just going to a summary judgment, which is not really a fair trial. You know what I mean?
I think.
Okay, I mean, I understand. Here's the reality, right? The way I'm looking at it, this is not about the gold standard, right? The gold standard is someone gets the docket, a judge picks it up, we go to trial, right? This is about when something is sat on the docket over 30 days with no engagement at all. Now, the reality is the DOJ, it has limited manpower. We have maybe 10 to 15 judges who are working, right? Which means 3 or 4 per shift. There are instances where the entire shift there, or all available judges within that time zone get conflicted on something. Recent case, for example, would be, bombs at the courthouse or anything that happens at the courthouse, which conflicts an entire shift of people from a case, right? In those instances, we end up with things just sit on the docket for 30 something days, maybe longer, with nobody entering, nobody presiding, nobody ever even tries to. That's what this is for, right? It's about when things are just sitting there dead. And in those cases, what we need is a safety valve that allows for resolution. And here's the thing, there's nothing here I'm saying that we can't do now anyway, right? Subjectively, case by case. Because it's due process, because it is, what people should expect to happen when they go to court. I'm putting it forward formally in legislation so people won't be surprised, agag, left slack-jawed when things like this start to happen.
May I? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the whole point is this is not ideal, but this is a resolution, and I think some kind of resolution is better than nothing. It's better than, once it goes to 1 month, it's going to sit there for 3. Yeah. It happens time and time again, and by that point, nobody cares. Nobody's engaged anymore. Nobody's invested anymore. It's not that we don't want to take things to court. Taking things to court is the gold standard. That's absolutely what we want to do. This is for the shit that we just can't take to court.
So, so I will say that I think generally speaking, I see the vision, right? There are cases on the other side of the spectrum where we got some bullshit case and it's just not moving forward, right? It doesn't help us. I get the whole notion of if something stays on the docket too long, no one gives a shit about it anyways, right? I think for our concern, and Angel, please do correct me if I'm misrepresenting here, is while you can already do this technically, this is sort of standardizing it so everybody knows. There is going to be a fear from law enforcement, especially with our big investigations, that could it be used as a avenue for abuse, right? Delay something long enough that, oh, wait, it's been already 30 days. I'm going to cite an example, and I'll be rather forward with it.
Okay.
There is incompetence even within our police department where I'm myself dealing with situations where we're taking pleas just because someone gets bored or they just feel like reducing the charges on some shit that's actually very serious, right? And we're trying to curtail it on our end. What our fear is with this is that we don't have a safety valve that's baked into this legislation, and that is something that we'd like to request today, which is something that outlines like, hey, if, for example, we got a big like terrorism case or something that we've put a lot of work and effort and we believe has a lot of meaning, right? That we're able to come in and actually argue that, no, we don't want a summary judgment. This is why it's got to stay open. And if the other side's delaying it, it should be on them. You know what I mean?
This isn't for the cases where things are being delayed. This is about there being no judge available to sit in on it in that time zone, right? Like, if a judge is
are there any cases? Are there any cases like that?
There have been recently.
Oh, okay. I fully misunderstood.
Yeah, if there's a judge entered,
it's not that
then it shouldn't be getting summaried. No.
So this isn't Oh, okay. This is if a judge can't. Okay.
So, like, the first line is if a case has been filed for 30 days and a member of the judiciary has failed to enter as presiding. This isn't about people slowing shit down and trying to, like, you know, if there's a possibility it can be scheduled, it should be scheduled, right? It should go to court, 100%. Like, I'm totally on board with that, right?
Angel and I's cousins are coming in, starting tomorrow. So
that's fucking right.
They're gonna be expecting keys there, Grayson. All right. Well, this is a very successful meeting, I think. Right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, that's totally fine. My only issue is just like when it comes to like judges conflicting themselves or being conflicted. Like, doesn't this also provide the possibility for, like, let's say a criminal just keeps conflicting judges off their case over and over and over again until there's no one left to force summary judgment.
You've met Moose Knuckles.
Well, I mean, no, I mean that's happened before with Chain Gang back in the day. They used to do that.
We're also doing the other thing, right?
You probably remember that even happening. They would kidnap judges that were on their cases and then fucking be like, "Hey, you're conflicted now, bitch," and then shoot them in the head. So there's no judges left.
Yeah. So we're also doing the other thing, right? So there's probably another bill coming up. I've got a judge drafting it right now, where we're going to legislate that if you're going to sue the Department of Justice, you have to name the people you're suing, rather than being able to just, I'm suing the entire Department of Justice. Now you're all conflicted. You can't deal with my shit, right? Like, we're going to legislate that in because we need a protection there because obviously it's a little bit brain dead.
So
it's being weaponized against us.
I'd like to even go further and say I very much disagree that anyone, and this is a law enforcement thing too, can just get conflicted because you get kidnapped. Like, we live in San Andreas, right?
Yeah, I do.
And so, unless, for example, and this is what because we have the, like, people get shot up in a scene and be like, well, I'm conflicted now. And it's like, no, motherfucker, you're primary on scene. You didn't just, because you happen to be one of 15 or whatever random targets, right? And we're not specifically targeted. That doesn't make you a conflict. If I was kidnapped specifically out of Blaine County Sheriff's Office, or I happen to be like the subject of the crime, the primary subject, that to me is a confliction there. But if, for example, y'all are all having a meeting and someone walks in and shoots y'all like indiscriminately, should you really be conflicted? Like, why? This is San Andreas. Like,
I know what you're saying. I think we should be able to remain as neutral as possible. It comes down to the question of where are you most valuable? Are you most valuable as a neutral arbiter, or are you more valuable as a witness in that regard, right? That's where the lines are drawn.
Can I say something? I don't understand like the whole notion of being conflicted. Like, that's never something that's like actually been defined or like understood to be an actual thing. Outside of just like people's like feelings and vibes about it. So like that has changed quite a bit. I remember in the past with when Crane was like the Chief Justice, you know, he would always say that judges conflict themselves. You know, you choose to conflict yourself because, you know, ultimately you're the only one who can really make that. Or someone that's above you that can make that determination if you're actually conflicted off the case. Because I think it's kind of brain dead that a judge would be like the victim of a crime or whatever, and then all of a sudden they just can't adjudicate it because something happened in the courtroom, you know?
I understand.
Because that would imply like if something negative happens towards the judge at all, then they're inherently biased and can no longer be a part of that thing. Right? Like that would be expecting to be completely, purely neutral.
Yeah. Let's use an example of a closed case. we recently dealt with the hounds, right? That's a closed case, right? The hounds one, so Sophia.
Has that been settled yet? I did the search warrant contest this week, and then they were entering negotiations.
The others are still getting sued. She is settled. They are not.
Is she settled? Is she signed out? Okay. I wasn't.
That whole thing is fucking crazy. Like, I don't even know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, I just want to talk so openly about that right now. Are you conflicted? Can I talk to you about this? Can we talk?
I'm already conflicted because
all right, fantastic. These fucking dumb fucks go and like, okay, fine, maybe the warrant wasn't good. They fucking go target a bunch of judges and then they're conflicted, but we can't do anything about it. But we choose not to do anything about it. We had our own problems on the PD side of this, right? There's a bunch of pussy shit, right? Fifis, right? The hounds, poor people, even though they're murking cops all day. The moment they started targeting justices, that should have immediately turned into terrorism and holds and none of this like, you know, hag bullshit. No, they fucking get thrown in there, keys taken away, and wait until they go to a court case. And that's what I want to see change, like sooner than later. And I think, quite frankly, there, Grayson, I think y'all need this more than we do, right? It's y'all's lives that keep getting targeted. You know what I mean?
You guys should push to remove the some of those hag clauses because those were a product of their time, and I don't think they're really relevant anymore.
I think there's a lot of things there that were the product of their time, but like, I'm trying to like fix the administrative side of it. I think if like it's going to be one of those things where it's like it changes people's rights and their expectations on that side. I think that like the driving force should maybe be the mayors at this point.
Well, yeah, but the difference between a hag and a hut, isn't that a judicial matter?
I would consider all that stuff in the judiciary's department.
Yeah, because whether or not the bail and all that, I mean, I don't know. I'd like for y'all to at least open up that door. Transparently, that's something that we were gonna try to spear up the moment, you know, what's her name got targeted. Well, actually, you were one of the victims when he got blown up by a bomb, and then. Yes. Shortly thereafter, oh my God, Gates got taken. And I was like, that should not be a hag, right? It shouldn't be just you automatically get this. If you are facing a series of charges and you are indiscriminately going and targeting people with the intention of confliction, that's fucking destabilization and shit. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree. Like, I think that can be articulated, but obviously a prosecutor's going to need to articulate that, right?
Or unless it's legislated, right? If these conditions are met, like it's just fucking throw them in the key. Because here's the reality of the matter, right, Grayson? Like, you know, there are certain things that while they can go through court are not conducive to our society given the resources that we have, right? So, getting things legislated on it like saves us all a headache, right? And if people want to start blasting you guys up because you're looking over a court case, well, they should know what the consequences are. You know what I mean? Otherwise, what's the point of bail?
True. People shouldn't feel comfortable like trying to fucking fuck with you guys like that.
So, I don't know. Something to chew on. How about this? Let's set up a meeting next week. Me and Angel on this topic. Mayors are invited too. You know what I mean?
That's a good idea.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, the legislative authority meeting's being generally scheduled on a Thursday at this point. If we have that meeting on Thursday, I'll extend an invitation out for you guys to come in and present.
Okay. Hell yeah. All right. Same applies to them. If the fucking, you know, marshals start blasting up the mayor's office, I mean, they don't really fuck with you guys lately. You know what I mean?
They would never do that.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, after everything we all heard of that impeachment hearing, who the fuck knows what they'll do?
They didn't have an oath during that impeachment.
No oath, no SOPs. It's
I mean,
Wild West, right?
Well, I mean, after I left, they had the SOPs. I don't know what happened to them. It's not like they weren't written.
I mean, I know Craig had them when he was there.
Yeah, that's all I mean. I got in the SOPs that they got taken oath and shit. So
he's a question, Brittany. Did anybody ask you for them?
No, nobody hit me up.
Yeah,
actually, after the meeting, after the impeachment hearing, they mentioned about SOPs and not having any, and I said like, hey, I'll send you what I used to have, and they're like, what the hell are these? How long have we had these for?
Oh
so
my
they
God!
Got him. They got him now. they got him now. I'm really surprised that they just never asked for really anything at all.
I don't
to be
think they
honest with
wanted
you.
to follow it. I'm gonna be real. Like,
I mean, the SOPs are very simple. They're basically like follow the law. These are your expectations. These are the laws. Your duty is to fucking protect and serve the legislative authorities and root out corruption and do
Yeah.
your best. Here's how you do that.
Jesus
So
Christ.
I thought they're pretty simple, all things considered. But, you know, as simple things are hard to follow.
Yep. Well, are you satisfied with the Greyson's answer about the first thing about the legislation?
I mean, yeah, I'd say I'm satisfied. I just had concerns about it potentially being used as an avenue for abuse.
I want
So-
everybody to know that, like, if we've got a judge on it and it like hits 30 days, this doesn't come in, right? This is not
Right,
that. This is
that's
only
kinda
if there's
what
no judge at all.
I just didn't want there to be a case up and then them to be like, well, it's been 30 days. I'm fucking tired of this shit. It's fucking going to summary, and you could live with the fucking
No.
the outcome, you know?
Oh, I'll shut that shit down. I don't want that. If we've got a judge and they're trying to schedule it, I don't care if it goes, you know, whatever, as long as it's, you know, there's somebody who can take it and is willing to take it. This is for that. This is the safety valve for like when we just don't have anybody who can take it, but we've got judges who aren't conflicted outside the time zone who could, like, you know, engage in a limited scope on the docket, right, and like provide some kind of resolution instead of no resolution actually being.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't personally agree with the resolution that's proposed here. I think giving just 72 hours for them to write up a statement and submit it is not really enough, in my opinion. I feel like there should be a little bit more, but I also understand why you would want to keep it to just that. So
This is a minimum, right? You can ask for more. It's still a docketed case. If you're like, hey, I'd really like, you know, 5 days instead of 3 to provide a response, then
well,
it's
it's
on the
not
judge.
necessarily about the time. Like, I guess the concern doesn't really matter in this specific circumstance. So
Is it?
the way that it's been outlined to me.
I do have two questions. One, and because I haven't read it, can the reading of this be misinterpreted by a future entity to make it apply to things in which a member of the judiciary has not entered, right?
I don't think so. I think it literally says if a case has been filed for 30 days and a member of the judiciary has failed to enter as presiding. Like,
okay.
It's straight up.
I think
Second
I think it
question.
should say 30 days or more. Because there's a technicality in there, you know? If a
I
case
see
has
what
been
you're
filed
saying.
for 30 days.
The
what if
judge
it's been filed for
wanted to enter
31
on the
days?
35th, right? I see what you're saying.
I think that would take a judiciary that does not want to work to try to engage that way and be like, oh, it's past 30 days. I can't do it anymore. I think that would take somebody literally being work avoidant. I think that sounds like their
People are
election
like
duty.
that. Hey, people do that kind of stuff, man. People don't want to fucking work these days, you know? You know, back in the day, we had a whole constitution to write, and everyone just fucking up and quit, man.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
So,
I
like,
got the same
they-
thing. I just
that's
had
what they
to
fucking
fire a
do.
bunch of people who didn't want to show up to work. It is what it is.
Yeah, like that fucking
You know-
Judge Ingle Dan bitch motherfucker. He never showed up for a single case.
Sounds like him. I
Well, he
remember
was at
that
2
guy.
cases.
you know.
I don't believe he has ever had a single case except for the one that
There were
I
2
watched him
bench
do.
trials.
So,
There were 2 bench trials with him.
and that one he got high in. So
That one was
that was a good case though. It was a good case.
Yeah, we've set that precedent. Like, if you don't take cases in the DOJ now and you haven't taken them for 30 days, we fire you. I'm over this shit. I need people to work.
I got one other question. Sorry, let me just make sure this ain't emergency.
Ring in.
Everything good? Emergency?
Oh, Mr. Knight, it's not an emergency. If you're busy, I can call you back.
Who's this?
This is Frank Skinner from the City Chronicle.
Mr. Frank Skinner. Meet me at Blaine County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
All right. take
Yeah,
care.
no problem, mate.
Are you worried that this might cause you to be targeted?
I generally don't work that way. I'm going to be real.
Okay.
Like, even back in the day when I took
I'd like
cases
us to
like
bring in our
the-
cousins and we don't get conflicted on anything. So
Uh-huh.
I'm actually not kidding. So if someone fucks around, I'll bring my judge over and just go against him. You know what I mean?
Oh, if they show up and they request an interview, we will provide interviews.
Okay.
Judge Angel Dan.
Yeah. I know there's a guy I know. I'm gonna give him a phone call. I think he was one of the OGs with Coop Holiday. He might be on
Oh,
a mountain
yeah.
somewhere.
Oh.
I think I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yep. So
Yeah, he was a justice when I got hired.
yep. I think times were simpler back then, though. That's the only thing.
Very, way different.
Yep.
I remember him shouting at me for not being in a suit down in the cells once.
Yeah.
I got called into out of ICU, dragged from the hospital to represent somebody, and I wasn't in a suit, and I got shouted at by Justice Coop.
Well, you got to be looking professional. You know, you got to walk around wearing suspenders and having your tie out and stuff. Because that's professional.
Yep.
Yeah, apparently being in my gym jams wasn't good enough.
Why do you look like you dressed for a funeral?
It's I just grabbed a tie, and it was a black one. It just happened.
Oh my
I
God,
think the black
chat.
tie makes you look very it makes you look like an imperial officer or something, you know, like all dressed up to the nines, you know.
Last time I wore this was for the death penalty sentencing for Chatterbox.
That sounds about right. You kind of look like a funeral director.
Little tugs, dude.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, if that's the vibe you're going for, it's fine. Maybe different.
It was the vibe I was going for that day. Today it was just grabbing what was, clean and pressed.
Got it. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming to talk with us. I don't really have any more concerns about that then.
State ID 1221. So this individual can become a judge. I think he just needs a record expungement, right?
What's his state ID?
1221.
He definitely
that guy could be a judge. That guy could do it.
Yep.
I'll see
Okay.
why not.
All right. Fantastic.
He'd also need a bar license.
Yeah, I'm sure he can figure it out.
What about state ID 1084? How you feeling about that one?
I feel like with her and Cassandra Cage, people would start to claim that we're affiliated.
With what?
Hey, Captain?
Oh, wait,
yeah,
this
up?
is perfect. Wait,
Whoa.
this is perfect timing. All right. Hi.
So to you guys.
Hey.
The newspaper's here to see you guys.
Okay,
Yeah?
fantastic. All right.
To see us or to see them?
Well,
They spoke with Brian. Apparently, they were told to meet him here. I don't know if it's about whatever you guys are talking about.
We can collectively chat with him. I don't mind. Well, thank you so much, y'all, for coming on by,
Thank you again, Grayson.
especially on short notice and whatnot.
safe.
All right. Hey, feel free to have if anyone brings up questions and you can't sort it, since Angel and I were here, we can help field some
Okay,
some
I
of the questions
appreciate that.
for it.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Easy. All right. Well,
Have a good day, gentlemen.
so we pretty much can't say shit. The TLDR is the newspaper's been trying